Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to share with you my summer fragrance tray. We've got a bit to cover, so let's get right into this video. Starting off, we have got an affordable gem from Zara. Zara Red Temptation Summer Eau de Parfum. I love this so much. This was a limited edition last year, quite a little dent. I remember this is special because of the fragrance I wore to see the live action Little Mermaid. I loved that movie and I love this fragrance. It's a nice, warm floral. For me, this is definitely more of an evening summertime fragrance. It's got a little too much body for an everyday fragrance, but at night when you want something a little bit more heavy, a little bit more come hither for the season, this is beautiful. I hope they bring this back this year. Another summertime favorite, Lancôme La Vie Belle and Rose, and this is stunning. I found this at duty free on my way to Virginia and fell in love with it. This is an Eau de Toilette concentration and it is just so easy to wear. It is almost like a step up from a Bath and Body Works body spray, but it's nice, it's lightweight, it has decent longevity. With this I normally get about 4 to 5 hours and it doesn't overpower me or anyone around me to my knowledge. It's just a nice, easy to wear fragrance. It's a nice watery rose. To my knowledge has been discontinued, but you can find this like gray market perfumers like Fragrance Net and you can get it for quite an affordable price. One of my newer fragrances to my collection and I cannot stop using this. It makes me so happy. Houbigant Peony, and this is Quelques Fleurs, l'original. If you want the most beautiful regal bouquet of flowers, this is the fragrance. It is slightly vintage, meaning it does have a little bit more of that powdery aldehydic base. Not as strong as aldehydes, like something that is in like Chanel No. 5. This would be a little bit closer to something like the aldehydes you would find in the Chanel Coco Mademoiselle Le Prive. A lot more similar to that. This is really beautiful. It wears close to the skin. It can project a bit about arm length away if you do overspray. I normally do about 3 to 4 sprays and it is a compliment getter. The sales associate told me that Marie Antoinette wore this fragrance. I can't personally find that anywhere I've looked online, but I did find confirmation this is what Princess Diana wore on her wedding day. Really beautiful. When I'm recording this, it's not quite summer yet, but I've already started to dabble into my summer fragrances and I cannot stop wearing this. Prada Candy Kiss. This is a beautiful white musk fragrance with the most beautiful orange blossom sprinkled throughout. Almost like, think about something that wears close to the skin like the Body Shop white musk, that beautiful clean refreshing white musk scent, coupled with something like Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy or Parfum de Marly Oriana, that really beautiful sweet fresh gourmand orange blossom, almost feels slightly bubblegummy. That is what is in this, coupled with the musk. It is like you just took the most luxurious bath and you used some of these really bright, fun, feminine, floral, sweet floral bath products, and this is the scent lingering on you. I love this. I get a solid 5 to 6 hours out of it, and you can reapply throughout the day if you want to, and it never feels too heavy. Really love this. I hope it never gets discontinued because it is such an easy fragrance to wear and it makes me so happy. And when I've worn this around other people, I get compliments on this quite a bit. We have 2 that we're going to talk about together, both from Lancôme, and these are from the Idôle range. The original Idôle and the Idôle Nectar. I don't even know what to say. I love these so much. We will start with the original Lancôme Idôle. This is a really beautiful, fresh rose scent. It is such an uplifting rose and it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel dated, it doesn't feel mature. It feels fresh, it feels very invigorating, and it never feels too heavy or wrong for any occasion. You could as easily wear this to the grocery store or running errands as you would to a wedding or to a dinner party. It is so beautiful. It's one of those ones that I feel just as good wearing this out and about or to a party as I do wearing this to bed. And I saw in Erin Nicole's video, she mentioned that this was her favorite bedtime scent. I tried it and I loved it. It is so good, and it lasts on the skin, for me at least, 6 to 8 hours. It's really beautiful. Speaking of Erin Nicole influenced me to purchase the Idôle Nectar, and this is a really interesting rose perfume, but it does have like a caramel popcorn. To me, this is almost like you mixed together the original Lancôme Idôle with the, I can't remember the name, it was the Sol de Janeiro body cream that came in like the turquoise, and I think that one's been discontinued, but that had like a caramelized popcorn scent. It is really beautiful. If you want a nice summer fragrance that's easy to wear, but it has a little bit of that sweet, sticky, gourmand quality, it makes me feel so happy. This is a good one to wear, and when it's a little bit warmer, it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel sticky. So if you are someone who likes florals and gourmands, and you want something that's really easy to wear for the warm summer heat, Lancôme Idôle Nectar is one to check out. Something almost like a body splash that's gonna wear very light, very easy. You can reapply throughout the day. Fragrance that's great to keep in your handbag, in your gym bag. Anytime you just want a little bit of a scent boost, you might love the Chanel Les Eaux collection or the Waters collection. The one I have here is Paris, and this is a really beautiful fruity floral. This was my introduction to the Chanel Les Eaux range. It makes me happy. I've purchased this in the body wash as well as the body lotion. Layered together, I get about 4 hours. This collection is not the most long lasting. I've owned 3 currently. I only have 2 in my collections. I did let one of them go because it just wasn't a profile for me. This one is really nice, and this does last a little bit longer than the other one, but I will say the other one I am a little bit more partial to. If you are someone who likes something like Bath & Body Works Rose or Hello Beautiful, you might enjoy this, but know that you are not going to get the greatest longevity. I have heard some people say they get really good longevity, but for me, I don't. Fragrance is very subjective, but if you like fresh, bright, watery florals and you want something that sits close to the skin, almost in the same vein as the Guerlain Aqua Allegoria range, you might really enjoy Chanel Paris. And that is worth noting, I don't have any massive dents because I do have quite a large collection. My fragrance collection has grown quite a bit over the last 2 years, and I feel very excited when I see any little resemblance of a dent. Easy one to wear that I found quite affordable at Shoppers Drug Mart on sale for $19.99, and it's just a fun, easy fragrance to wear. Oscar de la Renta Extraordinary Fun Fruity Cherry Blossom Scent. If you want something lighthearted, easy to wear, in a way, this almost reminds me of a cross between Tommy from Tommy Hilfiger and Ralph from Ralph Lauren, 2 fragrances I wore through grade school into high school, and this makes me think of that similar vein of fragrance. It's fresh, it's lightweight, it's very much like an easy, youthful scent. And it's youthful by meaning of it smells fresh, it feels bright, it feels happy, not childish. It's a really nice fragrance to wear, and it's one that you can find for a really reasonable pricing, so be on the lookout if this sounds interesting. We have a very special fragrance, and this is one I love wearing when it gets warm because this is where this perfume shines. Bulgari Rose Goldia Blossom Delight, and this is the Eau de Toilette concentration. This was a gift to me from my husband, and it is so beautiful, almost like a fresh peony scent. It's something a little green, there's something quite aquatic, but it's green and aquatic coupled with a really beautiful fresh floral. If you want something light, fresh, easy to wear, this is a really beautiful fragrance. Longevity is about 3 to 4 hours, not the most long-wearing fragrance, but it is lightweight and it's easy to reapply throughout the day. I really enjoy it. If you're someone who likes something like Miss Dior Bloomy Bouquet, you might really enjoy this. Almost all of the perfumes I purchased when I was in London have ended up in this tray. I guess all the spring air got me really excited. It was still very cold and dreary here in Toronto and London when we were there. It was very bright and spring-like, and I was so excited for summer. And this next one I purchased is no exception. Penhaligon's The Favorite. If you are someone who loves a bright, powdery floral, this is the perfume for you. Penhaligon's The Favorite is a mimosa violet floral. You do have a few others sprinkled in, but it is very much a slightly warm, powdery floral. It wears close to the skin. If you overspray, it does have some projection. When you first spray it, it does go quite far, but once it settles in, it sits very closely to the skin. It's like the bow on the bottle or this cardigan. It's easy to wear, it's inoffensive, and it's happy. So if you like a happy, lightweight, fresh floral, check out Penhaligon's The Favorite. Speaking of Penhaligon's Favorite, I also have the hand cream here at my desk. I really love this scent so much, and the hand cream is quite divine. I have another fragrance from Zara, and this is from the Zara olfactive range. This is Captivatingly Paris. If I'm not mistaken, this is created almost as like a dupe for Givenchy Irresistible. I have to say it's similar yet different. Compared to the two, I'm partial to the Zara Captivatingly Paris. For me, this gives me projection without being too heavy, and it lasts on my skin for a solid 6 hours, where the original Irresistible Eau de Parfum is about 3 to 4 hours. And this one I think is full price, around $40 for the large bottle. I love this scent so much. If you like a bright, slightly solar floral with a little bit of a musk dry down, it almost reminds me of like a solar floral Josie Maran body care product. I don't know what it is. There's just something about the composition of this fragrance that reminds me of a Josie Maran argan oil body butter infused with some really bright tropical flowers with something fresh and slightly watery like peony or pear. This is really beautiful. It's another one that gets compliments. When I first began doing my Invisalign treatments last late spring, early summer, I wore this very lightly. I think I did 1 or 2 sprays. Everyone working at my orthodontist office complimented me and asked me what I was wearing. I had one lady even hand me paper to ask if I would write this down. I get compliments sometimes, I don't have people chasing me down the street asking me what I'm wearing, but there's very few that have sparked the reaction where people want me to write it down, tell them what it is so they can go buy it. And I was really surprised that Captivatingly Paris from Zara was one of those, and I can't blame them. It is a really beautiful fragrance, and a little bit goes a long way. So if you want to get into a nice bright summer floral but you don't want to break the bank, check out Zara. Again, this is Captivatingly Paris, and this is on my summer perfume tray. Sadly, this one has been discontinued, but it is so good, and it is a long time favorite of mine. This is Estee Lauder Sensuous Nude. This was released, I think, in 2010 or 2011. I was still working for Estee Lauder at that point, and this perfume is just perfection. And this is not a current bottle, but this little bottle here, so this is the Eau de Parfum that's on my perfume tray. On the cabinet behind me, I have some little memorabilia, and here I have the Eau de Toilette. This has been setting in the sun for years. This is one that my mom liked. She asked if she could have it. I gave it to her. It sat on the perfume tray and she never wore it. For me, this is a very sentimental one. This bottle was gifted to me at training from Estee Lauder when it first released, and this made me fall in love with it. And I like the Eau de Toilette, but I did prefer the Eau de Parfum concentration because it lasts a little bit longer. So I purchased this bottle back in 2020 or 2021. This is one that it's a 1-2 spray. It's a warm, powdery scent. It's almost like somewhere between freshly tanned skin and coconut milk. It is really beautiful. It is a very sexy skin scent. It's not going to be a loud beast mode fragrance, but if you want something that sits close to the skin and it just smells like you've been outdoors at an all-inclusive resort and you've gotten a little bit of sun and you're applying your body lotions, you're going to just relax for the rest of the evening. That is what this perfume gives me, and it makes me so happy. I love it so much, and I use this a little bit more sparingly because it has been discontinued, and when I do run through this, I will do my best to get another bottle because I love it so much. The other perfume I have in my collection from the Chanel Les Eaux collection is the smaller size. This is Chanel Paris Vanille. This one makes me so happy. This is the most perfect citrus violet powdery scent. It is beautiful. It doesn't smell like La Mer because La Mer body care products don't really have a distinct scent other than smelling like body care, but Paris Vanille reminds me of you just went to a really beautiful spa and they have done a full body treatment. Like you've done a scrub, you've done a full massage, maybe a little bit of lymphatic drainage. They've done a wrap to help you sweat out some of the excess water weight. And then they just cover your body in the most beautiful creams and oils, and your skin just has a very well hydrated glow and a slightly expensive smell when you smell the products they use on you. That is what I get from Chanel Paris Veni, and it is stunning. I was slightly upset that I purchased the smaller size instead of the larger size like the Paris, but I think it was a blessing to size because this does not wear very well at all. This is one that when I sprayed on, and I spray it liberally. Like, I wore this last Friday when I was out and I sprayed heavy, and my husband was like, "Sweetie, we're going to get in a car. You should spray that much." He's like, "Did you do 10, 15 sprays?" I'm like, I stopped counting and I just started at the top and worked my way down. So then we left maybe 20 minutes after I sprayed my perfume, and then we got in the car, we were going down the road. I'm like, "Oh, is my perfume too strong?" He's like, "I don't smell anything." I'm like, "Neither do I." So beautiful scent. It's a really luxurious experience. If you're someone who can't handle fragrance and you want something light, maybe this would work for you, but I'm gonna cherish this. I'm gonna enjoy it while I have it. I don't see myself repurchasing it because it wears so close to the skin and it's very, very fleeting. It's not going to last very long, and even the small bottle is over $100 here in Canada. I'm pretty sure it's closer to 150, and I don't mind a lightweight fragrance. I don't mind an Eau de Toilette concentration. This is just a little too fleeting for the price. So I love this. I think in the future I would stick with the body lotion or the shower gel to get that scent experience. But if you want a nice, luxurious, fresh skin scent for summer, Paris Veni from the Chanel Eaux collection could be the perfect perfume for you. Lightweight fragrances that were made for hot, humid weather, both from the Guerlain Aqua Allegoria Forte range. I have Rosa and I have Flora Bloom, which is the new scent for 2024. Let's start off with Rosa because this is the first one I had in my collection. Very similar to Lancôme La Vie Belle in Eaux, except for this sticks around a little bit more. So even though the Aqua Allegoria Forte range is still considered an Eau de Toilette, this does wear more like an Eau de Parfum concentration. It is really beautiful, and it is a fresh, creamy rose, almost like a rose Turkish delight, but it's not super sweet like something like Love Don't Be Shy. It doesn't have that much sweet stickiness to it. This is more of a rose with a little bit of sweetness. It's really, really lovely, and it's great for early summer when there's still a little bit of crisp coolness in the morning, or a summer evening when you want a nice rosy scent but you don't want anything over the top. Flora Bloom is the most recent one in my collection. I purchased this shortly before I left for my trip to London, and I've only worn this 2 or 3 times. So far my experience is a really bright, happy floral fragrance, and I really enjoy it. I just don't have enough wear experience to give you a full review. Hopefully at the end of the summer, when I've had a few more opportunities to wear this, tell you what it pairs well with, we'll have a better, more well-rounded you. But for now, it's a really nice, happy floral, and I do enjoy that there's something like a little bit of a fruity brightness in the base once it dries down. It's really, really lovely. Another perfume I've talked about recently, and I like it, it just doesn't last. La Perla, the Visible Touch, one of those skin must scents. It wears very close to the skin. It smells like a fresh, clean skincare product. It's beautiful, and La Perla says Invisible Touch is to fragrance like their lingerie is to the skin. It sits close and it's there for you to know. It's not really something that boasts or brings attention to itself throughout the day. I get that from this fragrance and I really enjoy it. It's just, for me, I have things in my collection that do a similar job to this, like the Prada Candy Kiss or even Glossier You. These are both more affordable. This small bottle is 30 mils. It's around 150 Canadian dollars. It's beautiful. It's really, really nice. It just, I want a little bit more strength from the scent. I want it to last a little bit longer. Again, this is about a 3-hour max perfume and then it wears off. I love the bottle. Once I finish this, the bottle will live with me on my little collection shelf in the back. I'm gonna enjoy this while I have it, and it's great for late spring into summer. It's just not one I can see myself spending full price on again in the future. Next, we have a Clean Reserve. This is one that one of my friends gifted me, and this is sparkling sugar, and it says this is a fresh gourmand. To me, this is very much a sugary musk. On me, this wears very similarly to something like Glossier You with a slightly sweeter twist. It's almost like a mix of Glossier You and Ariana Grande's Ari. Between the two, I prefer Ari. Ari is another one I wanted to put in my summer tray, but I've had it in my spring tray and my winter tray. I love it so much, but it needed a break. This one is really, really nice. I really enjoy it. It just doesn't wear very long. That's kind of like a recurring thing with the clean reserve fragrances I've tried. They're beautiful. They're there for a little bit, but the ones I enjoy, like Clean Skin, Sparkling Sugar, Radiant Nectar, or Lush Fleur, they smell great, but they don't last very long. This is one I really like it. I just wish it lasts a little bit longer, but if you can find it at TJ Maxx, Winners, whatever discount store you have near you, if you find this and you like those more fresh, fruity, floral, sweet skin musk scents, you might enjoy this. We're on to the last two rows, and this brings us into some scents that I'm very excited to wear. These are more of our fun tropical scents. The first one we have is Sarah Jessica Parker Lovely Lights. This is unlike any of the other fragrances in the Lovely range. This definitely has a bright, summery floral. It's almost like a frangipani scent. Almost think about something like M. Mikalev's Love Ylang Gold with a little bit more of a powdery dry down. That is what Lovely Lights gives me. And I've only worn this once or twice, not enough to form a full opinion. I've enjoyed it. I've gotten about 4 hours to wear, and I'm so excited to wear this as the heat turns up. Another bright, fun solar floral, Molton Brown, and this is Flora Luminare. This is a really gorgeous, bright tropical solar floral, and this is one my husband actually picked out on the way back to Canada from our London trip in the Heathrow International Duty Free. It's really beautiful, and it's not my normal scent profile. It is a lot more tiare flower, ylang-ylang, or maybe even something like frangipani. It's that bright tropical floral that sometimes for me can feel a little bit nauseating, a little bit overwhelming, but the way it's done in this fragrance is so beautiful, and this wears for about 8 hours on the skin, which is great for a more summery floral scent. If you like something like Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess, but you want something more floral, less coconut, check out Molton Brown, Flora Luminare, and Luminaire. I think this is Luminaire, and this is the Eau de Parfum concentration. A fragrance that I purchased, I believe, last year on a whim, Philosophy Amazing Grace Eau de Parfum Intense. This is a really interesting scent that I put in my fragrance tray just to get a little bit more wear out of it. I've worn it once or twice. I don't have a strong opinion. Just to spray a little bit on my hand to see what I can tell you about the fragrance. I don't know much, and that's why I put it on the tray. Smelling this initial burst, it does smell something like peony, maybe rose, maybe a little bit of a raspberry, because there almost is like this slightly lipsticky floral sweetness to the scent that I really enjoy. But as it's drying down, you are getting a slightly brighter scent. To me, this does not remind me at all of Philosophy Amazing Grace. I mean, it doesn't even smell anything really to my nose like Amazing Grace Ballet Rose. This is a lot more bright, a lot more fun. This is definitely a more youthful, and youthful by mean of slightly more adolescent than the original Amazing Grace, which is very clean, very floral, very bubbly on the skin. This is nice. It's a fresh, fun floral. So if you want something that sits close to the skin, still has that clean feeling, but it's a little bit more of a sweet, candied lipstick floral, try Amazing Grace Eau de Parfum Intense. A classic that I love for spring, summer is Jo Malone Peony and Blush Suede. I've mentioned in a few other videos, this is one of my favorite scents. This was one of the ones that when I worked at Nordstrom, I would spritz it on as I walked past the Jo Malone counter. And when I got married, this was the candle scent that we had. I love Peony Blush Suede. It's such a happy memory scent, and it's just one of those easy floral scents that you could wear as your signature scent, meaning it doesn't have a time, place, or season that it's attached to. But with me and my collection liking to rotate scents, I love this for spring into summer. Another perfume I have in this summer's rotation that has a strong memory associated with it from last year is Giorgio Armani My Way. This is the original Eau de Parfum. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to wear this again. I wore this last year to see the Barbie movie, and I wore a bright pink linen weave cardigan. I love the Barbie movie. I think I love the Barbie movie almost too much because I cried like 3 times watching that movie. I mean, goodness, anytime I watch that movie, there's a few scenes that still make me cry because it touches touches that very personal part of me that I found through, like, you know, going through therapy and working on myself, like embracing your emotions, allowing them to expand, and just, you know, not taking things or people for granted. That is what I got from the movie. But this reminds me of going to the Barbie movie with my husband, a little date night, and then just enjoying it for the rest of the summer. It was such a beautiful fragrance, and it's a really fun, bright, floral tuberose scent that has a little bit of that sweet bubblegum facets to it. I really enjoy it. Moving into a nice layering base, and one I love to layer with so many different fragrances. This is my second bottle of Narciso Rodriguez for her Pure Mousse. This is a nice, clean, white floral. You have a mix of like heliotrope and classic Narciso Rodriguez musk. This is so beautiful. If you want something like Glossier You, the Body Shop White Musk, but you want to take it up a notch and you want to add a nice luxurious twist to it, try out Narciso Rodriguez for her Pure Mousse. This is one that you can layer with anything in your collection. It only makes things smell better. A perfume that's been in my collection for I think 2 years now, and I can just now handle wearing it. Over the last 2 years, my taste in fragrance has really changed, and I've grown to appreciate scents I did not used to like. Dior's Miss Dior Rose and Roses. At first, there was something about this that really kind of burned and irritated my nose, and I suspect it's the geranium note in this fragrance. I could be mistaken, but I remember looking up the notes to this and seeing geranium, and that was very different than anything else I had in my collection at the time. I wore this just the other day, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that throughout the day, I did refresh myself with a few times. It never felt heavy. It never felt suffocating. It's just a really easy to wear fragrance, and I'm so glad that I appreciate it now. It's really nice. If you like a fresh, watery rose scent, you might really enjoy this one. One of my babies that I purchased last year that I am so excited to wear. I've been waiting all year to break out my Narciso Rodriguez Narciso Crystal fragrance. I remember this fragrance really appealed to me after I saw Soki London's review, and she said this smells like ballet class. I always wanted to take ballet as a kid. I never did. I mean, occasionally I will attempt a bar workout on YouTube. Nothing that I stick to with any type of regularity, but I would like to. And personally, this scent does not make me think about ballet, but it does make me think about fluffy white linens and fresh pink florals. It's like wearing a fresh pressed white lounge set and you are arranging a bouquet of really beautiful pink fluffy flowers. Like, think about pink carnations, pink roses, pink hydrangeas, or that is what I get from Narciso Crystal, and it is a really beautiful musky floral scent that just smells pretty and makes you feel pretty as you wear it. Maison Francis Kurkdjian L'Eau à la Rose. This is my favorite of the 3 different à la rose fragrances. So you have the original Eau de Parfum concentration, then you have the L'Eau à la Rose, which is the Eau de Toilette concentration, and then there's the L'Homme à la Rose, which is the Eau de Parfum concentration, kind of catered more towards men. I did have that in my collection. I did pass it on to a new home because I found it a little too heavy, a little too woody for me. The original à la Rose, to me, it's okay, but it smells so similar to Bath & Body Works Rose, I didn't feel I needed it, and that is why I ended up purchasing the L'Eau à la Rose. I really love this, and I like this for easy days at home, or I oddly enjoy wearing this with my husband and I go to Whole Foods, just because we've been going to Whole Foods a bit more recently, just because the price of food's gotten so expensive, and it doesn't matter if we go to like Loblaws or Superstore or Whole Foods, the cost of produce seems the same everywhere, so we just go to Whole Foods because it's better quality. And when we go, I spritz on my Maison Francis Kurkdjian L'Eau à la Rose, and it makes me happy, and I feel ready for a day at Whole Foods. I just feel like I need a big Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag in the Damier Zor, and I would be good to go. That with this outfit would be perfect. That's also a bag. The last few years, I really keep thinking that I want to add to my collection. I saw in a reel maybe last summer that Jackie Aina wore this in like one of her go to bed with me routines. And I was like, oh, so occasionally if I want to feel extra fancy going to bed, then I will wear this. The last perfume in this tray is my Jo Malone Rose Blush Cologne. This is from the Rose Collection 2022, and it is beautiful. It is a really fresh, almost herbal rose scent. As you can tell, I love a good floral rose perfume, and this just makes me so happy. It's such an easy to wear fragrance. If you're someone who likes a rose scent, but you also like something slightly herbal, you might really enjoy this. I love it. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's available, sometimes not, but the last few years when Jo Malone has brought out their rose collection in around January, February, this has been included. So keep on the lookout if this sounds interesting to you. Normally in my perfume trays, I also include body oils, but getting into the summer, I don't really layer too many body oils. I'll stick with a lightweight body lotion, and then my perfume, and then a hair mist. I do have a few hair mists in my collection I'm gonna share with you. The first one is my Moroccanoil Brumes de Marco hair fragrance mist for hair and body. This smells just like the Moroccanoil hair care products, warm ambery scent, and I enjoy this. My nose, it does feel a little bit more autumn winter, but if it's a dry shampoo day and my hair does not feel fresh and clean, but I don't want to wash it, I'll dry shampoo it and use a little bit of this, and it's like you just had a hair wash day. But you know, that being said, I wash my hair almost daily, so this is not something I use that often, but when I use it, I really enjoy it. Fragrance product I purchased when I was in London from the brand Roja Parfums from perfumer Roja Dove. This is the Supreme Hair Mist in Elixir. I mentioned in another video, I was kind of kicking my butt on the way home that I did not purchase the fragrance version of this as well, because Elixir is just so beautiful. It's a really beautiful fruity floral. I believe the kind of stars in this I think are peach and maybe nectarine. It's got that kind of peachy fruitiness that you would find in something like Tom Ford Bitter Peach, but it's brightened up by something like a nectarine. It's like a fresh kind of citrusy brightness, and then some different florals mixed in with a little bit of a woodiness at the base. It is really beautiful, and it lasts in your hair, and you smell like just the heroine from a romance novel. Your hair will be blown in the wind, and you will have all the knights in shining armor coming to rescue you. Even if you don't need to be rescued, they will just be there to give you compliments. It is so beautiful. Anytime I wear it, my husband's like, wow, you smell really good today. I'm like, thanks. It's my hair mist. And then we have 3 more hair mists that we will talk about together. Some of my favorites for easy layering combinations. These are all 3 from Acqua di Parma, and these are from their Nobile fragrance range. So we have Magnolia Nobile, Peony Nobile, and Rosa Nobile. These are just really beautiful, fresh, aquatic florals, kind of making the highlight of the different fragrances what's in their name. So Magnolia, Peony, and Rose. Going forward, I don't know if I would suggest purchasing both Peony and Rose. To my nose, they smell quite similar. I thought Rose was my favorite. Rose was the first one I purchased, but I do prefer Peony slightly more, just a little bit more bright, a little bit more fruity, and there's just something slightly a little bit more fun to it. So that is everything in my summer perfume tray. I am so excited to see how these different fragrances will fare throughout the months. Will I be reaching for anything else, and what will I layer with these? I've taken all of my body creams and body lotions and put them in another like bin and organized them. That way all of them are at my disposal instead of having to run between my bedroom and my office trying to figure out what I want to wear. That way they're all there and I can mix and match my layering combinations and share them with you at the end of the summer season when we go to switch out my summer perfume tray to my autumn perfume tray. Hope you had fun. Let me know, is there any of these perfumes that you want to try out or anything that you would suggest me trying out? Like I mentioned earlier, this summer floral range is kind of like my favorite scent profile. If I only had one type of like grouping of fragrances to wear, it would be these more fresh florals with a little bit of a muskiness to them. They're just what makes me happy and what I want to reach for more often than not. Let me know if you have any recommendations or if this is a fragrance category that you maybe are not too keen on but you would like to try after hearing about some of these. So let me know all the different things in the comment section down below. And until next time, I hope you're taking care of yourself wherever it is you are in the world, and I will see you later. Bye y'all.